Good morning, everyone. This is Steve with Real Progressives, and my message today, my discussion point, is coming about as a result of reading an article called "A Whole Lot of Millennials See No Difference Between Clinton and Trump, Really?" by Rebecca Leber, and she's a writer for Mother Jones. In her article, she goes on to talk about how millennials are basically silly for equating Clinton and Trump. She goes on to say that they are basically lost souls in this quest for political knowledge, that they're basically ignorant, that they really don't know what they're talking about. She goes on to quote one of her sources, and I'll pull this up because it's actually really interesting. I'm going to read it verbatim. You got to forgive me because when I saw this morning, it was like, what the hell are you talking about? It's not just ignorance, added Andrew Bauman of Global Strategy Group. They assume she's more conservative than she is, he continued. I think part of the goal is to educate voters and reintroduce Clinton. How many times does she need to be reintroduced? She's been relaunched more times than the iPhone. Anyway, but if her convention speech was any indication, Clinton isn't focused in on much more on the issue beyond the usual applause lines. She mentioned in passing how clean energy will lead to job creation, but she didn't dwell on it. She left the task of drawing a contrast between her climate policies and Trump's speakers like California Governor Jerry Brown and League of Conservation Voters President Gene Karpinski. She doesn't care about this stuff. This literally is just lip service. And this is coming from an article, coming from a publication, Mother Jones, that I used to revere. I read Mother Jones, I posted Mother Jones, everything I did, like if Mother Jones said it, I used to almost have the, that like church feeling, like they were telling the truth. I just assumed Mother Jones was telling the truth. And it goes back to a special article that Mother Jones posted a few years back. Author's name was Mariah Blake, and it came out in the September-October 2014 issue. And it's titled, How Hillary Clinton, State Department, Sold Fracking to the World. And this expose is just incredible. I mean, they go for the jugular, and they're not even trying to go for the jugular. They literally just break down the facts that Clinton sold fracking around the world. Now, the pulse check for all of us thinkers is that we don't want fracking. We're done with it. Now, I live in the state of Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania, if you ride down toward Allentown, towards Shamokin Dam, stuff like that, you see just the landscape is just destroyed. I mean, they go through, people are getting water trucked in. Their water's been contaminated, stuff like that. But here's Madame Defarge. We're seeing the lady in a pantsuit peddling fracking around the world and then trying to come off as a progressive who gets things done, right? Well, the next issue is that Clinton then turns around, and this is like, today. We're not talking, Friday. Truth Out publishes something called Clinton Fundraises with Frackers. This is August 5th, 2016. We're not talking about 2014 when the Clinton sold fracking deal came out. We're talking about right now. Like, she's trying to woo Sanders supporters. And their method of wooing us is to tell us we're frickin' idiots. Now, I'm not a millennial. God, I wish I was. But I'm one of those older folk that I always talk about. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm 47. And, my era, was raised thinking socialism was bad. We were raised to not care about, the environment in the way that we learn today. It needs to. We were taught that was propaganda. A lot of people believe that the climate change discussion is overhyped, and yet the science fully backs it. Can't help what we were taught, right? I mean, a lot of people we didn't have the internet like we do now. We didn't have a lot of things we do now. But for the last 20 years, 16 years, whatever, we've been pretty much able to get news on demand, on command. So a lot of this stuff, it's like, Mother Jones, we're sorry, but we can go back through your own archives and learn that Hillary is a fracking queen, man. So my biggest concern is this. I catch some flack from people of my era, my generation. I'm not a millennial, folks. The gray should tell that, right? But I'm not a millennial. And I understand that my generation, the people that are my age group, skew more conservative. I'm on the other direction. I am skewing more liberal. I'm violating the basic tenets of the demographic in which I reside. People don't like it when we bring up demographics. It's just too bad. We have to. It's important to understand the prevailing attitude so you can penetrate the strongholds. But the thing is that millennials are saying this is that important that all the Trump fear porn in the world isn't going to make us vote for you. We care about the environment. We care about a rigged election, damn it. We want fairness. You're telling us to fight for equal rights. You're telling us to fight for, voter ID, getting rid of voter ID restrictions and stuff like that, and fighting the GOP for suppressing the vote. And here you are championing fracking. Here you are friggin' stifling the vote. Here you are absolutely cheating to win. And millennials are saying, no, we're not doing it. We didn't vote before, and, hey, you can claim we won't vote again, or you can claim we're not going to vote, but we've been awakened. Something majestic occurred this election cycle. I'm just going to tread a level course here because I know this will upset some folks. But Bernie is selling Hillary in whatever fashion. My belief is that he's just going through the motions. A lot of people believe that he's really, really flipped on it. Doesn't matter. I'll just go with the words, just the words. Okay, I'm not no secret intent, just the words. For those who don't try to figure out the game, Bernie has told you all my followers should follow the Lord and Savior Hillary Clinton. And some people have actually done that, which is mind-blowing. But it's not just him. You've got Sarah Silverman calling us ridiculous. You've got a host of people, Bobby Reich. There's no one that bothers me more than the way Robert Reich does it. I'm not going to lie. I see him and I just want to He makes me very angry with his ways. He is a true sheepdog. There's no getting around it. He stands for some good things, and there's probably going to come a time where I may support him on something. But overall, I know who you are now. I know what you are now, and you're not revolutionary. You're not, and we need a revolution. But millennials are saying we're not going to go along to get along. We're interested in third parties. We're interested in making a statement. We're interested in following our beliefs that you've given us, Bernie and Jill and friends and all of you and all the stuff you've written over the years. They're telling us we care so much about these issues that we're not going to fall in line. We're just not going to do it, right? I respect that. It's like fist in the air. But the establishment, all these publications, all day long, you open it up and all they do is talk about how horrible Donald Trump is. Nobody ever raises let me say this. I think it was 2014 when they were talking about Obama and they were discussing how Obama had lost so many seats in Congress. They were more than willing to talk about how the party had strayed, how, being the out party is not necessarily the worst thing ever. And sometimes you can get far more accomplished by losing the White House and winning Congress, winning the Senate, winning your state houses, winning your local districts, than to have the burden of carrying the message from the White House. Because everything ends up falling in your lap, and there's a counter-revolution that comes every time you win the White House. Every single time. If you've heard me say this before, it's because I'm going to continue to say it. It's going to be the theme from now till the election and beyond. Unless you have a truly revolutionary presidential candidate, they hurt the overall movement. They do. The other side says, oh my God, they've got the White House. We've got to kick it into overdrive. And they go ahead and they sweep. And that is how we've got these gerrymandered districts. Think about it. Bill Clinton had a White House for 16 years. Then there was a gap in there of 8. Bill Clinton had it for 8. W had it in there. And then Obama has now had it. And over that period of time, we have lost most of the country to right-wing craziness. It's not an accident. It's what happens. And the proof is historical way beyond that even. So as the millennials are, taunted and teased about not participating in government, they're ignorant, they're this, they're that. Take a look at what they're doing. Millennials are saying, enough's enough. The rhetoric is real to them. They're living it. They're saying, no, I want to live in a world where I can drink clean water. I want to live in a world where we have renewable energy and we're not burning up the planet. Far too many voters, my age, so that way we'll deal with it on terms of understanding the demographic I'm speaking. So nobody goes, but I'm an older voter and I vote for Bernie. I get it. I'm an older voter and I did it too. But let's face it, our generation has screwed the pooch. My generation and up has screwed the pooch. They went ahead and they supported Clinton. They went ahead and supported W. They went ahead and supported Reagan. We, the older generation, my group, the peeps that I'm with, okay? So don't give me any crap. I'm talking about moi and my group, okay? We sold the country out by being cowards, by taking the lesser of two evils, by not standing on our convictions. Well, I'm taking the Apostle Paul up on his greatest statement ever, as redeem the time. We don't have a lot of time. We don't. If climate change is real, and the science behind it clearly backs that up, the millennials know what they're doing. They're going to school. They're learning about science. They're talking amongst each other about issues that are of much greater gravity than frickin' pop culture. I mean, they have more technology in their hand at any given time than most of us had in our lifetime. And they care about things that are different than what we do. I'm trying to learn from them. I'm not here to, take a dump on them. I'm here to learn from them. I think all of us can learn something from them, from their convictions. Because that's what it's going to take to make a revolution happen in this country. So I am truly grateful for the youth in this country that are awake and aware and alert and are saying absolutely no to the coronation of Hillary Clinton. Don't let them shame you, millennials. Don't let them shame you. You have done something spectacular. You have made people realize that there are alternatives to falling in line. And I applaud you. I salute you. But all morning long, I read nothing but garbage about you guys. Everything. Even Truth Out had some stuff where they basically talk. I mean, I've read more people trying to make Donald Trump out to be Lord Emperor Trump that he can get things done that nobody else could ever get done. And they try to instill that fear into you. Well, of course Donald Trump might. The nuclear codes, my goodness, don't they have some sort of checks and balances where somebody else has to have the codes too? Or does he have unilateral control of all of them? Come on. That's the shit that pisses me off. Don't treat me like I'm a moron. Don't frickin' publish something that we all know is true and then 5 minutes later try and tell us to forget about it. Don't tell us that Hillary is the fracking queen, and we have proof of it, and then suddenly try to tell us that she's really not a conservative, that she's really this special progressive that is just fighting for us. I mean, how hard is it for you and I to get straight skinny, to get the straight dope? I spend more time having to process news to convert it into usable crap. Because everything I read is just that. It's garbage. Tales from the toilet. I mean, they don't even try to hide the fact that they're trying to sell you Hillary Clinton. They've given up all pretense of being journalists. So this is about all I can do right now. I can come to you. I can process the data myself. I can come to you and try and explain to you what they're doing. I know you guys probably get it too, so you're probably going, yeah, Steve, I read that too. And you may even have better ideas. You may even have read deeper into this and have something you can feed to me. I'm not, Lord Emperor God either, man. But one thing's for sure. The millennials know what they're talking about here. Hillary is a fracking queen, and there's absolutely nothing progressive about her. And if just the title of being progressive was all we cared about, well, whatever, right? Show me what you're talking about. Don't tell me. Stop pandering to me. Stop doing political blackface, Al Jolson style. Hey, baby, mammy. She's doing mammy with her progressive bullshit. She's not progressive. It's like doing the nay thing, Absolutely everything is stolen from someone. There's not an authentic bone in her body other than a hunger for power. Not one. Not an authentic bone in her body. So everything you see is well scripted. She can't even defend her environmental record. She requires surrogates to do it because she is so shamefully aberrant. Have you ever noticed when she starts lying how her eyes just go, well, actually, I've been very consistent on this. The whole eye fluttering, looking down. She looks off to the side. I love being awake. I really do. I mean, I look at people going, no, but you got to vote for her. You got to vote for her. And I feel like I need to be wearing like a long black leather trench coat, with some really good friggin' theme music playing behind me while I'm walking in there and like moving away from the bullets and I'll, wow. I mean, seriously, it's like, you gotta laugh. They're playing us for suckers. I refuse to get reinserted into the Matrix. Anyway, you guys, I love you to death. Don't ever take anything personally. We're just trying to get the news out the best we can. We're trying to break it down for you. And, I just have to tell you this. Hats off to you millennials. Show us the way. Teach us how not to be cowards. Teach us how to not be spineless and worthless equivocators. Teach us to stand and fight because we need your help. We do. As a country, we're lost without you. You're our future. And I love you for it. You guys keep fighting. Steve with Real Progressives, hoping you have a wonderful, wonderful day.